Everyone talks about imposter syndrome like it's something you feel once you're already in the room. That gut feeling that you just don't belong, that everyone around you has it figured out, and that you're the only one faking it. But what if I tell you that imposter syndrome starts way before you even get in the room? What if that is the reason why you don't even try? In this video, I will walk you through what I call the 3 stages of imposter syndrome and how I moved through all 3 of them throughout my career to make sure that you don't feel as lonely when you do it. The thing is that most people see imposter syndrome as a stage 3 problem. You get the job, you're in the meeting room, and you suddenly convinced that everyone around you is brilliant but you. And you start wondering, when are you going to be found out? But to be honest, imposter syndrome starts way before you're even in the room. And the first stage is what I think is the hardest one, and is where most people actually get stuck because they don't even dare to want it. This is where imposter syndrome is the most invisible because it doesn't feel like fear. It honestly feels like logic. For me personally, that looked like me studying a business degree with no sports focus, even though sports was honestly my life. Instead of pursuing that, I took an internship in hospitality like everyone around me, because I truly believe that working for a company like Adidas or Nike, or even being a sport agent, is for people much smarter and much better than me. I simply saw that this is not something that I could make it happen. And the sad part is that I didn't even let myself want it out loud. And this is exactly how quiet the stage is. And this is why most people are stuck in the stage, because it's very, very hard for you to even recognize it. The stage 2, you're able to break free and you're starting to already moving in the direction you want. You're trying, but unfortunately, you're still making yourself small because you're in that transition between believing that you potentially can make it, but at the same time, your old identity is still there telling you that's not for you. But regardless, that itch is becoming stronger. Applying for the job, you're reaching out to people, you get multiple rejections and you don't know why. And I have to be honest with you, I was stuck in the stage for longer than I wanted to admit. I've only realized that I was stuck in the stage when I had the conversation with the brand director at Adidas. She was generous enough to have a conversation with a total stranger and walk me through the entire marketing department at Adidas. Once she told me how all the marketing is structured, she asked me, where do I see myself? And the answer I gave her, it makes me cringe even now. I told her that I would definitely see myself in brand communication or sports marketing, but I don't feel like I have enough experience in that field. I remember her looking a bit weird at me. She's like, but didn't you say you were an athlete? And I was like, yeah, sure. I've competed until I was 18. I've trained at the tennis academy most of my life. And so then she looked at me and she was like, well, then who better person to catering to an athlete needs than an athlete itself? And what a better marketer to create stories that resonate with the consumer that love the sports. That sentence alone broke something open for me. I've been reaching out. I've had great conversations. In theory, I was doing all the right things. But if I'm honest with myself, in every conversation I had during that period, I still felt like I didn't have the right to be at the table. And that's something that you can feel it right away. Thankfully for me, that conversation made me realize that. And I did a lot of inner work as well. I had an amazing friend that helped me so much through this process. And I was able to break free and actually get to the 3rd stage, the stage that you most likely are familiar with. This is when you get the job. You're in the meeting. You're putting more energy, wondering when are they going to figure out that you're not as good as you initially said, instead of focusing in the present moment and contributing, because if you are there, it means you belong there. I was extremely lucky in this stage because I had a wonderful manager that really encouraged me to speak up, to share my point of view. He constantly even challenged me to do that. I was able to overcome that quite quick. I think that was the stage of the imposter syndrome that I overcame the quickest, but I will not pretend I wasn't there. If you take anything at all from this video, is the following. First, the people in the room that you want to be part of are not all extraordinary. Yes, there are some really brilliant people that will absolutely expand your knowledge, the way you see things. But I'm going to be honest with you. There are a lot of dumb people out there that just got there because they never stopped to second guess if they belonged or not. And honestly, that's the difference between you and them at this point. There will be a lot of people in your life that won't believe in you. And they will have the audacity to actually tell you in your face. So please don't be the one who beats them to it. I want you to be the one that believes the most in you, not the one that puts you down the most. Because believe me, there will be people out there that can do that job for you. You don't have to be the one. I know the third one is hard because we are literally being ingrained to think that way since we are in high school, but your value is not in your CV. I had an athlete background. I spoke 5 languages. I was able to understand very different cultures because I lived in different places. That's something that's very, very hard to really be portrayed in a CV. However, that was significantly valuable. That's why I want you to take time to see what is the value that you can bring. Because if you don't see it, believe me, no one else will. And lastly, if you take anything at all from this video and from my story, is just start. Because if I wouldn't have started, even when I thought I was not good enough, when I thought that I didn't know enough, when I thought I didn't have all the skills I needed, I would have never done the first application. I would have not reached out to the first person. I would have never had all those conversations that allowed me to move from one stage to another. As imperfect as that might look, this is exactly what you need to be able to get there. But if you struggle to connect with people and getting your first step, I definitely recommend you to watch this video where I tell you step by step on how you can connect with someone on LinkedIn or just digitally. You can use that framework to just do the first reach out today. I hope I'll see you there. And if not, until the next one. Bye.